Welcome back. Now, it never fails. Whenever the weather gets colder, I feel like they do it on purpose. The kids get sick. And in the meantime, that means we have to take off time from school. We have to take off time from work. But Dr. Perch, who is the pediatrician at Nationwide Children's Hospital, the Toledo, Sylvania Primary Care Center. See how I did all that for you?
That's great.
Yes. Here with a few tips to try and help us all stay healthy and well. Dr. Perch, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so how do I keep her and all the children, for those who have hims instead of hers, how do we keep them well?
Yeah, I think wintertime is a particularly stressful time for parents. We're just trying to do our best to keep our kids safe and healthy. So the first thing to remember is we want to continue to do the same things we do every day that we are doing to try to stay healthy. So eating a well-balanced meal, the best you can when you have a toddler, of course. Trying to get them to sleep well, make sure everyone's sleeping well, trying to decrease stress. So increased stress can make it easier for us to get infections. So doing all those things at baseline is going to be important, but whatever we can do to try to reduce the spread of germs is also going to be very important. So we're going to want to wash our hands. We want to make sure our kids are washing their hands. We're not sharing things that will spread germs. So not sharing cups or utensils or anything like that. And we're trying to make sure that we're staying vaccinated and up to date on our vaccines, especially against infections that we see a lot in the wintertime.
Now, when it comes to, of course, the winter months, it's the fact of, I feel like there are certain illnesses that are more common than others. Are you seeing more of one thing over another?
Yes, certainly. So wintertime, so many viruses, but most commonly right now we're seeing a lot of COVID, we're seeing a lot of flu, definitely seeing a lot of RSV right now.
So then I know about RSV, I've heard of RSV, but when it comes to how do I prevent RSV, COVID, flu, what are the easy steps apart from, obviously we said the vaccinations, are there other steps I should be taking?
Yeah, you know, we touched on it, definitely trying to reduce the spread of germs. So washing our hands, teaching our children how to wash their hands appropriately, 20 seconds at least, singing a tune that's 20 seconds long can be happy and fun. We're not sharing items that can spread germs. We're maybe canceling play dates that we know someone's going to be there that might have the sniffles, cough, runny nose, congestion, and maybe just postponing those for a little bit. And yeah, getting some of those vaccines. We have the COVID vaccine, we have the flu vaccine, we have an RSV vaccine for some of our more vulnerable little babies. So those things are going to be helpful.
I know the one thing that we're trying to teach my 2-year-old now is the, I don't know, we call it the vampire. Just cover your mouth, my love. She's really good at, you know, coughing and then mouth, and she does this. It's well after the fact.
Yeah, good try. Yeah.
What are are there other tricks or ways as pediatricians that you try and teach new parents, like, hey, try this, or is it just try it?
Encouragement and lead by example. So we do think it's important to cough in our sleeve, to cough in our arm, just like that, showing kids how to do that, and then running over to the sink and washing our hands after. Yeah.
For folks who can, working parents, of course, daycare. I feel like they're always filled with germs.
They are, yes.
But I know that my kiddo, let's say I can't take off from work. I can't. I don't have the time. We don't have the funds, however it goes. So we have to send our kiddo in. And of course, the rule is, at least for the ones that I take my child to, is as long as they don't have like a temp that's over 100, they can still go. So should I always try to, or is it that a healthy way to build the immune system? Is it 50-50?
That's a good question. I think there are certainly pros and cons to daycare. You can only do the best you can, right? So that's when the hand washing comes in. That's when trying to teach your child how to do that appropriately, trying to make sure that they're disinfecting all of the toys and things like that. But you can only do so much, right? So.
When it comes to, are there any foods for sure? Like if I just jam pack her full of orange juice, she will be fine, right?
I wish, yes. You know, toddlers are picky eaters, so that makes it a little particularly difficult. Trying to do your best to get something in all the different food groups. So definitely fruits and vegetables for sure. Vitamin C isn't a bad thing to make sure that they're getting in, but definitely trying to get some of those vitamins and nutrients in from the fruits and vegetables and do the best you can, honestly.
Do what we can.
Yeah.
What are you most seeing right now?
We're seeing a ton of COVID, we're seeing a ton of flu, like I said, RSV, definitely. And then there's a ton of viruses we see all year long, but particularly in the winter time, it's just, they run rampant for sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, a question, when should I go see a doctor versus when should we write it out? As a new parent, it took less than 6 hours and I ran to the doctor, but I panicked.
Yeah, it's so hard. I think you're never wrong to go to the doctor, right? So when in doubt, if there are questions you have, parents' intuition, whatever it may be, take them in to get checked out. You know, we want to be able to listen to lungs. We want to be able to listen and look into ears and make sure there's nothing else that we need to treat. So you're never wrong to do that. But if we're trying to determine when it's time to see the doctor, it's all about the length of symptoms. So if we're having fevers more than maybe 3 or 4 days, it's probably a good idea to get checked out. If we're having cough, congestion, runny nose, symptoms that are lasting 10 to 14 days, not improving at all, or we're starting to see new symptoms that we have not had initially. So we've been coughing for a week and now we're starting to have a fever. Then those are good times to go get checked out.
And I feel like it's when it's DEFCON like 1 versus DEFCON 5. Is that the same when it comes to like a pediatrician, urgent care, emergency room?
So an urgent care is not a bad idea if you can't get into your pediatrician's office, if it's, you know, evening, holidays, weekends, things like that. I usually recommend trying to see your pediatrician first just because they know you the best, they know your child the best, they know that history. So that's important. But if you can't get into them, then an urgent care is a great option. The ER, it should be reserved for emergencies, right? So those are the sickest kids. Those are kids who you're trying to wake up and they're really hard to wake up. They're confused. They are not drinking very well, so they're having less than 2 to 3 wet diapers in a 24-hour period. Or breathing. The breathing is a big one. If they're breathing really fast or they're using those extra muscles to breathe, we see them breathing with their chest or we see their head bobbing up and down, then they're working too hard and they probably need to get checked out.
Dr. Perch, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So of course, wash your hands, feed your child, stop coughing in my face, tiny people. That's basically the rules.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.